This is urgent. My child, do not let your mind wander. Do not skip ahead, and do not treat this like just another message passing through your day. I brought you here because something in your spirit has been delayed for too long, and if you keep ignoring what I am about to show you, you will keep carrying a weight I never asked you to hold. Stay with me all the way through this, because what begins as a warning is going to become a turning point, and what feels intense at first is actually the mercy that could change everything for you. Listen closely, lean in, and let every word land where you have been hurting in silence. By the time this ends, you will know exactly what must change, and if you walk away from this unchanged, you will not be able to say you were not warned. My child, I need you to slow down and stay with me here, because what is happening right now is not ordinary, and deep down, you already feel that. You may have opened this in the middle of a busy moment. You may have come here carrying thoughts that have been racing all day, or maybe you have been trying to quiet a heaviness inside you that you cannot fully explain. You may have told yourself you would rest later, pray later, think later, deal with your heart later. But I am speaking to you now because later has become the hiding place where your peace keeps disappearing. You have been moving through your days with more on your shoulders than anyone around you really sees. You have learned how to keep going even when your spirit feels tired. You have learned how to smile in places where your heart feels disconnected. You have learned how to function while carrying questions you have not even had the courage to say out loud. And I want you to know before anything else that I see all of it. I see the pressure you have normalized. I see the inner tension you keep dismissing. I see the private moments when your thoughts become too loud and you do not know how to calm them. I see the way you keep telling yourself that if you can just get through one more day, one more week, one more responsibility, then maybe you will finally stop and breathe. But you keep reaching that point and still not allowing yourself to be still. That is why I have stepped into this moment. This is not random timing. This is not a lucky encounter. This is not just another message crossing your screen while you pass through your day. I have intentionally interrupted your momentum because you were not going to stop on your own. You were going to keep pushing, keep delaying, keep carrying what is wearing you down, and keep calling it normal. I love you too much to let you keep mistaking survival for peace. I love you too much to let you keep mistaking movement for healing. There are moments when I whisper softly and wait for you to come close, and there are moments when I reach directly into your day because I know your heart is too burdened to notice the whisper. This is one of those moments. I am not here to shame you for how distracted you have been. I am not here to make you afraid. I am here because I know exactly how close you are to the edge of emotional exhaustion, spiritual numbness, and the kind of delay that quietly steals joy from your life while you pretend everything is fine. You have been asking for clarity in ways you did not even realize. Sometimes it was a prayer. Sometimes it was a sigh. Sometimes it was just the ache in your chest when the day got quiet and you could no longer outrun your own thoughts. I heard all of it. I have heard the prayers you spoke clearly, and I have heard the ones that never made it into words. I have watched you try to hold yourself together in rooms where nobody knew how much strength it cost you just to stay present. I have watched you keep being strong for other people while your own heart kept waiting for a place to rest. And because I know you, because I know how easily you keep putting yourself last, I brought you here in this exact moment so you would not miss what your soul needs. You did not stumble into this. I led you here. I made room for this moment because I wanted your attention before the noise took over again. I wanted your heart before another distraction numbed what you have been trying not to feel. I wanted you to stop long enough to realize that the ache you have been carrying is not something you are meant to drag forward forever. This moment matters because I am not merely giving you information. I am calling you into awareness. I am asking you to recognize that your heart has been asking for rescue in quiet ways, and I am answering you now. Stay with me. Let yourself be here. Let yourself feel the weight of the fact that I am speaking directly to you. You do not need to rush through this. You do not need to brace yourself. You do not need to perform strength with me. I know the real condition of your heart, and I have not turned away. I have come closer. You need to understand something that will change the way you hear the rest of this message, because if you miss this first truth, you will be tempted to treat everything that follows as inspiration instead of invitation. This is personal. This is not general encouragement meant for whoever happens to be listening. This is not a distant spiritual idea that sounds comforting for a few moments and then fades as soon as the next task pulls at your attention. I am speaking to you with intention because I know where you have been. I know what you have been tolerating, and I know how long you have been postponing the inner surrender that would finally let you breathe again. You have become so familiar with your own strain that you have started calling it responsibility. You have become so used to carrying emotional weight that you no longer notice how often your soul feels crowded. You have let urgency from the world train your mind to react to everything except what is happening inside you. That is why this interruption is holy. It is holy because I am cutting through the noise you have adapted to. It is holy because I am stopping you before one more day passes, with you ignoring what has been quietly unraveling in your spirit. It is holy because you have reached a place where comfort alone is not enough. You need truth. You need clarity. You need to recognize that there are things inside you that cannot keep being postponed without consequence. You have been telling yourself that you will deal with your heart after you handle the next crisis, after the next bill is paid, after the next conversation, after the next burden settles down. But your life has taught you something by now. Even if you have not said it plainly, there is always another demand waiting. There is always another interruption. There is always another reason to put your soul on hold. If you keep waiting for a perfect moment to come close to me, to release what is heavy, to be honest about what is breaking inside you, you will keep watching your peace slip through your hands while you call it patience. I am not asking for your attention because I need to be heard. I am asking for your attention because you need to hear what your own heart has been trying to tell you for a long time. You are tired in ways sleep has not fixed. You are restless in ways productivity has not solved. You are carrying fears that keep changing shape so you can keep pretending they are temporary. You are more affected than you have admitted, and there is no condemnation in that truth. There is mercy in it. There is love in it. There is a Father who is not intimidated by your mess, not disappointed by your weakness, and not distant from your confusion. I am here because you matter too much for me to let you keep drifting in emotional autopilot while calling it endurance. I am here because you have been surviving on fragments when I want to restore your whole inner life. I am here because your soul has been sending signals your mind keeps overriding. That uneasy feeling, that sudden sadness when everything gets quiet, that heaviness you cannot explain, that strange sense that something needs to change even though you cannot define it clearly. Those things are not meaningless. They are not random fluctuations. They are signs that you have been carrying more than you were meant to carry alone. And they are also signs that I have been drawing your attention inward because healing cannot begin where denial remains in charge. So before we go any further, I want you to receive this first point deeply. I am not late, and neither is this moment. I have reached you here because this is the moment you were finally still enough to hear me. That matters. The fact that you are still reading matters. The fact that something in you knows this is not just another message matters. Let that settle in your spirit. Let yourself stop resisting the possibility that I truly am speaking to you. Because I am. And if you let this moment stay open instead of rushing past it, you are going to begin seeing that what felt like a simple interruption is actually the beginning of a turning point. My child, I need you to listen closely and not brush this aside, because the urgency in my voice is not coming from anger, and it is not coming from impatience. It is coming from love that refuses to watch you drift any further from the peace I have been trying to place in your hands. You have mistaken my silence at times for distance, but I was never far from you. You have interpreted some delays as abandonment, but I was often standing between you and something that would have wounded you more deeply than you realized. Even now, what you call confusion is often the result of trying to hold too many things in your own hands while asking me to guide you at the same time. I want you to understand why I am speaking so directly now. It is because you have reached a point where gentle impressions are no longer enough. You have been sensing for a while that something in your life cannot continue the way it has been. You have felt it in your chest when the room gets quiet. You have felt it when you wake up already tired. You have felt it when people around you think you are managing, but inside you know you are stretched too thin. You have carried habits, burdens, wounds, and delayed decisions longer than you were meant to. You have adjusted to spiritual strain the way people adjust to a room with no air, and because you learned how to survive there, you began to call it normal. But survival is not the same as peace, and endurance is not the same as healing. I am speaking with urgency because you are not just standing in a season of discomfort. You are standing in a moment of decision. There are things in your life that cannot keep being postponed without cost. There are conversations you keep avoiding, prayers you keep delaying, surrender you keep negotiating, and emotional wounds you keep revisiting instead of releasing. I know your reasons. I know you are tired. I know you wanted more certainty before taking the next step. I know part of you hoped the pressure would pass if you just kept moving. But the pressure has not passed, has it? It has followed you. It has changed shape, changed names, changed settings, and still it has followed you because what I am asking from you is not more effort. I am asking for honesty. I am asking for response. I am asking you to stop and recognize that the ache you keep trying to manage is a signal, not a nuisance. It is your soul telling you that something deeper must change. Come closer right now. Do not defend yourself. Do not explain away what you already know. Let this land in your heart. The urgency is not that I am about to leave you. The urgency is that you keep delaying what would finally free you. You have lived in almost for too long. Almost surrendered. Almost rested. Almost trusted. Almost let go. Almost believed that I could carry what you keep gripping with white-knuckled hands. And almost has stolen more peace from you than you realize. That is why I am speaking like this. I am not trying to startle you. I am trying to wake up the part of you that knows I am telling the truth. I want you to hear how personal this is, because you may still be tempted to think I am speaking in broad spiritual language when I am actually speaking into the exact places where you have been struggling. I know the thing you keep saying you will deal with later. I know the conversation you replay in your head but never bring to me honestly. I know the resentment you keep dressing up as wisdom. I know the fatigue you keep excusing because you are afraid that if you stop, all the emotion you have buried will rise at once. I know the secret bargains you make with yourself. After this week, I'll slow down. After this problem, I'll pray more deeply. After I feel stronger, I'll obey. After I understand everything, I'll surrender. My child, come here and hear me clearly. You do not get healed by waiting until you feel less in need of healing. You do not find peace by postponing the surrender that opens the door to it. You do not become ready by avoiding the very place where readiness begins. I am not asking you to have it all sorted out before you respond to me. I am asking you to stop pretending that delay is helping you. It is not. It is quietly stealing your tenderness. It is quietly training you to live half open. It is quietly convincing you that because you can still function, you must still be fine. But functioning while afraid is not the same as being whole. Look at what has happened inside you over time. Things that once moved you deeply now barely reach you. Things that once made you hopeful now feel harder to trust. Things that once would have sent you straight into prayer now get pushed aside because you are mentally overloaded. This is why I have come close in this moment. I am not waiting for your perfect spiritual mood. I am not waiting for a better time on your calendar. I am not waiting for you to become less complicated. I am speaking into the exact mess you are standing in because I know that if you let me meet you here, what feels urgent today can become the beginning of freedom instead of the continuation of pressure. Receive that. Do not just admire it. Receive it. Put your hand on your heart if you need to. Close the other tabs in your mind for a moment. Stop multitasking through your own rescue. Let me speak to you without interruption. I am calling you because I love you. I am pressing this because your peace matters. I am urgent because you matter. And if you stay with me instead of pulling away, you are going to realize that what felt intense at first is actually mercy moving quickly before another layer of numbness settles over what I am trying to awaken in you. So stay with me now and make this practical before you move on. I do not want this point to become another moment where you feel deeply for a few minutes and then slip back into familiar patterns. I want you to answer me with something real. Pause and tell me the truth inside your own spirit. What have you been delaying that you already know I have been asking you to face? Name it. Do not make it vague. Do not hide behind general words. Is it your need to forgive? Is it your refusal to rest? Is it your fear of letting go of control? Is it the pain you keep feeding by replaying it? Is it the prayer life you have neglected because you feel ashamed of how distant you have become? Is it the decision you keep avoiding because obedience feels costly? Bring it into the light right now. Whisper it if you have to. Write it down if that helps. Say it plainly to me. I already know it, but I want you to stop hiding from your own clarity. Then do something simple and sacred. Open your hands. Literally open them. Let your body say what your heart has been afraid to say. Tell me, I do not want to keep carrying this the same way. You do not need polished words. You need willingness. You do not need a dramatic moment. You need a real one. Invite me in. Ask me to show you the next right step instead of demanding the whole map. Ask me to help you obey the part you already understand. Ask me to quiet the noise that has kept you delayed. Ask me to make your spirit tender again. And stay. Do not rush away as soon as you feel the discomfort. Sit in the holy stillness of being known and being called forward at the same time. That is where urgency becomes grace. That is where truth becomes movement. That is where the next part of your healing begins. I am not speaking urgently because I want to overwhelm you. I am speaking urgently because I want to interrupt the cycle before it steals one more piece of your joy. Let this be the moment you stop postponing what your soul has been begging for. Let this be the moment you stop negotiating with what I have already made clear. Let this be the moment where your heart finally says yes to being led instead of just being comforted. Stay with me, because now that you understand why I am speaking this way, I am going to take you deeper into what you have been carrying and why I have seen every part of it. My child, as you feel this urgency pressing on your heart, understand that this moment is not only about your own release, it is about the many souls still wandering in the same fog you are coming out of. What you choose to do now can become a seed that carries light into places still bound by delay and confusion. I have said, cast your bread upon the waters, and it will return to you. And I am speaking that over you even now. When you give, You are not losing. You are sowing into a harvest of awakened hearts, restored minds, and lives pulled back from the edge. If your spirit is stirring and you feel the pull to help this message reach further, that is me inviting you into partnership. Through your super thanks, your membership, or your offering through PayPal in the description, you become a vessel through which my word travels farther than you can see. I breathe on what is given in obedience, and I multiply it beyond what you imagine. Do not delay this prompting the way you have delayed other things. This too is part of your response. Act now, and sow into what is setting souls free. My child, I want you to stay close here, because this is one of the places where your heart has been quietly hurting for longer than you admit. You have looked back on certain seasons and felt the sting of what did not happen. You remember the doors that closed when you were sure they would open. You remember the opportunities that slipped away after you had already imagined how they would change your life. You remember the relationships you invested in, the prayers you whispered, the timing you hoped for, the outcomes you built hope around, and the disappointment that followed when things turned in a direction you did not understand. Some of those moments still live inside you. They may not rise every day, but they have shaped the way you trust. They have shaped the way you wait. They have shaped the way you hear silence. I know how quickly your mind tries to make meaning out of pain. I know how naturally you ask, if this mattered so much, why didn't it happen? I know how easy it has been for your wounded heart to translate delay into distance and close doors into rejection. But I need you to hear me with all the tenderness and authority of a father who has watched every step you took through those seasons. What felt like rejection was not always rejection. Some of what you mourned was protection wearing unfamiliar clothing. Some of what confused you was preparation that could not be explained in the moment. Some of what hurt you was mercy arriving in a form your emotions could not yet recognize. You were standing in moments that felt final, but I was seeing outcomes you could not see. You were grieving the thing you wanted, while I was shielding you from the thing you could not yet understand. You were asking why I would let a door close, while I was standing between you and consequences you never had to experience because I loved you enough to interrupt your plans. Do not rush past this truth. Let it settle slowly. There were people you thought you needed who would have damaged the tenderness of your spirit if they had remained close. There were opportunities you thought were breakthroughs that would have buried you under pressure you were not yet ready to carry. There were paths you were desperate to walk that would have deepened your exhaustion, not your purpose. There were outcomes you begged me for that looked beautiful from the outside but would have quietly pulled you away from peace on the inside. I know it did not feel merciful when it happened. I know some of those seasons left you crying in private and smiling in public. I know some of those unanswered prayers made you question whether I was still listening. I know some of those closed doors made you feel embarrassed, confused, and deeply tired. But come closer and listen carefully. I was never careless with your heart. I did not misplace your prayers. I did not overlook your longing. I did not forget the things that mattered to you. I was handling them with more care than you realized. You saw the closed door. I saw the cliff behind it. You saw the delay. I saw the timing that would protect your peace. You saw the silence. I saw the fragile parts of you that needed to be strengthened before the next chapter could truly bless you instead of breaking you. That is why I need you to stop calling every delay a wound. Some delays were wounds, yes, and I will heal those. But some delays were rescue. Some detours were defense. Some interruptions were kindness. Breathe and let that truth soften you. Stop fighting the memory of every delay as if it was proof that I withheld love from you. It was not. In many of those moments, I was loving you more fiercely than you knew. I want you to revisit those memories with me now, not so you can relive the pain, but so you can let me reinterpret what you have been carrying. You have been holding certain disappointments like evidence. Evidence that maybe you were overlooked. Evidence that maybe you were not ready. Evidence that maybe others were chosen while you were passed by. Evidence that maybe your timing was always off, your faith was too weak, your mistakes were too many, or your heart was simply too late. But your conclusions were shaped by pain, not by the full truth. I want you to stop building identity out of interrupted expectations. I want you to stop using the memory of what did not happen as a measuring stick for your worth. You are not the closed door. You are not the missed chance. You are not the person who walked away. You are not the prayer that took longer than you expected. You are not the season that looked barren from where you stood. You are mine, and because you are mine, I need you to let me untangle what disappointment has taught you to assume. There were seasons when you felt like life was moving around you while you stood still. Others seemed to advance, connect, succeed, build, recover, and celebrate, while you sat in a place that felt suspended. That kind of waiting can quietly bruise the soul. It can make you feel like everyone else received the map while you were left wandering in fog. It can tempt you to compare your hidden process with someone else's visible moment. It can make your own story feel delayed, dimmed, or diminished. But your life has never been random, and your pace has never been proof of your value. Some of the people you envied were walking into lessons you did not need to learn the hard way. Some of the doors you thought you missed were doors I closed because I was preserving your calling, not punishing your weakness. Some of the timing that frustrated you was actually mercy, making sure you would not step into something before your roots could support the weight of it. You wanted fruit quickly. I was growing roots deeply. You wanted movement you could show. I was building strength nobody could see. You wanted the visible answer. I was working in the invisible places that determine whether visible answers become blessings or burdens. A difference matters more than you realize. So I want you to do something brave right now. Bring to mind one delay that still stings. One closed door that still makes your chest tighten. One loss, one no, one detour, one silence that your heart has not fully understood. Hold it before me. Do not explain it away. Do not dress it up. Just place it in front of me honestly. Then ask me the simple question, show me what I could not see. That question is powerful because it opens the door to healing without demanding that you already understand. It invites revelation without forcing a false peace. It gives me room to show you that the story was never as simple as your pain first told you. Let me show you where I protected you. Let me show you where I slowed you down because your soul needed strengthening. Let me show you where I prevented attachment to something that looked right but would have drained your life. Let me show you where I preserved your future by disappointing your present. Do not be afraid of that sentence. Sometimes I preserved your future by disappointing your present. That is not cruelty. That is care. That is the wisdom of a father who can see what lies beyond the bend while you can only see the road in front of you. Now let me take you deeper, because there is another layer to this that you need if you are going to move forward in freedom. Delays do not only postpone outcomes. They expose what is happening inside you while you wait. They reveal what you lean on, what you fear, what you expect from yourself, what you secretly believe about me, and how much of your peace depends on things unfolding on your schedule. That is why some of your waiting seasons felt so intense. They were not only about the thing you were waiting for. They were revealing what the wait itself was touching in you. When the answer delayed, it touched your trust. When the door closed, it touched your identity. When the relationship shifted, it touched your fear of being left. When the opportunity disappeared, it touched your need to feel secure through progress. I saw all that. I did not ignore it. I was working in the exposed places. You thought the weight was empty because nothing visible changed, but I was doing deep work in the hidden chambers of your heart. I was revealing the places where fear had become your planner. I was exposing the places where shame had become your motivator. I was showing you the places where you had started equating your worth with momentum. I was not merely delaying an answer. I was reshaping the container that would hold the answer. That matters because blessings received by an unhealed heart can become pressure, pride, panic, or dependency. I wanted more for you than a momentary win that left deeper issues untouched. I wanted wholeness, not just movement. I wanted peace, not just progress. I wanted your inner life strong enough that what I placed in your hands would not become another thing you had to manage while quietly unraveling inside. This is where I want you to stop and obey a simple invitation. Sit still for a moment and let yourself say this. Maybe what hurt me was not all rejection. Say it slowly if you need to. Then continue. Maybe some of what I lost was protecting me. Let that land. Do not force yourself to fully believe it in one instant if your heart is still tender. Just leave the door open. Healing often begins when you stop insisting that your first interpretation of pain was the only one possible. Leave room for me to reframe your history. Leave room for me to show you that some tears came from loving protection, not divine absence. Leave room for me to reveal that what you thought was a locked gate was sometimes my hand standing between you and something your future would have paid dearly for. And if grief rises while you do this, let it rise. You can grieve what hurt while still receiving the truth that I was present in it. Both things can exist together. You do not need to choose between honesty and faith. You can say, that hurt me deeply, and still say, I trust that you were guarding me. That is mature trust. That is real healing. That is the place where your heart stops treating old pain like a permanent accusation against my goodness. So here is what I want from you now, my child, and I want you to make this active before we move on. Stop rehearsing old delays as if they are the truest definition of your story. Stop letting the memory of closed doors speak louder than the hand that guided you through them. Stop feeding the belief that if something did not happen when you wanted it, it must mean you were unwanted, unseen, or unworthy. That belief has been draining you. It has made you suspicious of timing, hesitant in trust, and emotionally guarded in places where I want you soft and alive. Bring me the vulnerable moments. Bring me the disappointment that still makes you flinch. Bring me the confusion that still whispers, why not me? Bring me the seasons where you felt left behind. Then do not just hand them over in theory. Release your right to interpret every delay through the lens of pain alone. Give me permission to rewrite the meaning, not by changing what happened, but by showing you what was hidden in it. Ask me to reveal the protection you did not see. Ask me to heal the shame attached to the weight. Ask me to remove the bitterness that formed when your expectations collapsed. Ask me to restore trust where disappointment taught you to brace for the worst. And once you do that, do not run back to the old narrative tomorrow. Guard your heart. When the memory returns, answer it differently. Tell it, I was not abandoned there. I was being carried. Tell it, that closed door did not define my value. Tell it, my father saw farther than I did. Tell it, what felt like loss may have been rescue. These are not empty affirmations. These are corrections to lies that have sat too long in your inner world. Hold on to them. Let them become part of the way you remember. Because as soon as you begin to see that not every delay was rejection, your heart becomes ready for the next truth I need to show you. The real danger has not only been what happened in the past. The real danger is what happens if you keep waiting too long now. That is where I am taking you next, and I need you ready, because this next part is where your present obedience becomes deeply personal. My child, now that you see that I was protecting you even in the delays, understand this. I was also preparing you to become a blessing in the lives of others. The doors that closed behind you are now becoming doors of light for someone else through what you help release into the world. I have declared, those who sow in tears shall reap in joy, and your past pain is not wasted. It becomes seed when placed in my hands. When you support this work, you are turning your history into harvest. You're wading into provision for another soul's awakening. If you feel that quiet stirring to give, that is not pressure, it is purpose calling your name. Through your super thanks, your membership, or your PayPal offering found in the description, you step into a flow where what once felt like loss becomes multiplied life. I will honor the hand that gives from a healed understanding, and I will return to you in ways your heart will recognize. Do not let this revelation end without action. Step forward now and give as one who knows I was always working for your good. My child, I need you to come even closer, because this is where your freedom becomes practical. This is not the part where I simply comfort you and let you leave unchanged. This is the part where I put my hand gently but firmly on the very things you keep carrying, the very things you keep revisiting, the very things you keep defending because they have been with you so long that they almost feel like part of you. But they are not you. They are burdens. They are weights. They are old wounds with fresh influence. They are habits of thought, habits of fear, habits of control, habits of emotional self-protection that have stayed in your life because you learned how to survive around them. I need you to hear me carefully. Some things in your life do not need more analysis. They need release. Some things do not need one more conversation in your own head. They need surrender. Some things do not need one more day of "I'll think about it." They need your honest yes right now. You have been carrying fear as if it were wisdom. You have been carrying guilt as if it were accountability. You have been carrying shame as if it were humility. You have been carrying bitterness as if it were protection. You have been carrying control as if it were responsibility. You have been carrying emotional numbness as if it were strength. But none of those things have healed you. They have only made you tired in more sophisticated ways. They have kept your hands full when I have been trying to place peace in them. They have kept your inner world noisy while you keep asking why clarity feels far away. My child, I am not asking you to become careless. I am asking you to become free. I am not asking you to ignore what happened. I am asking you to stop building your identity around what happened. I am not asking you to pretend the wound was small. I am asking you to stop treating it like it deserves permanent residence in your spirit. This is the moment where you must stop negotiating with what is draining you. Release the resentment that keeps revisiting the same memory. Release the shame that keeps whispering that you should be farther along by now. Release the fear that keeps disguising itself as caution every time I ask you to trust me. Release the pressure to understand every detail before you obey. Release the version of control that has been exhausting your mind while convincing you it is helping. Open your hands right now. I want you to do it physically if you can. Let your body tell the truth your heart has been avoiding. Open your hands and say, I do not want to carry what is crushing me anymore. You do not need polished language. You need surrender. You do not need dramatic emotion. You need honesty. I know how attached you can become to what has hurt you because it gives you the illusion of preparedness. If you hold the pain close, you think maybe it cannot surprise you again. If you keep replaying the wound, you think maybe you can control the next disappointment. If you keep expecting the worst, you think maybe you will feel less when it comes. But that is not protection. That is bondage wearing familiar clothes. And because I love you, I will not let you keep calling it wisdom. Let me speak directly into the things you need to release, because I do not want you to stay vague when your healing requires precision. First, I want you to release the need to control every possible outcome. You have been carrying tomorrow like it belongs in your hands, and it has made your mind tired in ways you barely admit. You keep trying to predict what people will do, how situations will unfold, where problems might arise, what could go wrong, how you might protect yourself before anything even happens. That kind of control feels useful until you realize it has stolen your ability to rest in the present. You call it preparation, but much of the time it is fear in a tailored suit. Release it. Bring me the need to know. Bring me the need to manage every angle. Bring me the inner demand for certainty before obedience. Then I want you to release the guilt that has stayed longer than conviction ever should. Conviction from me leads you toward life. Guilt that lingers without movement only traps you in self-focused heaviness. You have replayed mistakes enough. You have rehearsed what you should have done, what you should have said, who you should have been. You have punished yourself in subtle ways, withholding ease, withholding joy, withholding tenderness from your own heart as if suffering longer might somehow repair the past. It will not. Release it. Repent where repentance is needed, yes. Be honest where honesty is needed, yes. But do not keep kneeling before guilt as if it is holy. It is not. Then release the bitterness that still feels justified. I know why it formed. I know who hurt you. I know how unfair it was. I know how deeply the betrayal, rejection, abandonment, misunderstanding, or silence cut into you. I know you did not become guarded for no reason. But bitterness has never once healed the hand that held it. It only poisons the vessel that stores it. You may think it keeps you safe, but it is quietly shaping your voice, your reactions, your trust, your tenderness, and your ability to receive love without suspicion. Release it. Forgiveness is not agreement with what happened. Forgiveness is the refusal to keep bleeding internally from the same blade. Then release the version of yourself you keep trying to maintain because it makes you look strong while keeping you emotionally unreachable. You have become skilled at functioning, at helping, at appearing stable, at showing up, at caring, at solving, at pushing through. But some of that version of you was built in survival, not in peace. Some of that version of you does not know how to be held. Some of that version of you feels uncomfortable when stillness comes because stillness threatens to expose what movement keeps hidden. Release the performance of strength. Let me meet the actual you. Let me meet the tired you. Let me meet the confused you. Let me meet the grieving you. Let me meet the part of you that still has not fully recovered from what happened years ago but keeps acting like it has. Come here. Stop curating your inner life for me. I am not looking for the polished version. I am after the true one. There is something deeply important I need you to understand here, because release is not just about getting rid of pain. It is about making room for what I have been trying to build in you. If your hands remain clenched around fear, you cannot receive peace. If your mind remains crowded with control, you cannot recognize my direction clearly. If your heart remains occupied by resentment, love feels suspicious even when it arrives. If your spirit remains tangled in shame, you will keep shrinking in places where I want you to stand with quiet confidence. That is why this moment matters. This is not symbolic. This is structural. What you keep carrying is shaping what you can hold next. You have been asking me for clarity, for breakthrough, for healing, for restoration, for peace, for a sense of direction. And I hear those prayers. But some of the things you asked me to place in your life need room. They need an inner atmosphere that is not crowded by old residue. They need a heart that is willing to unclench. They need a mind that is not constantly rehearsing disaster. They need a soul that is not secretly addicted to familiar pain because familiar pain feels easier than vulnerable healing. It may sound sharp, but I need you to hear it with love. Some of your pain has become familiar enough that releasing it feels frightening, not because it is helping you, but because it has been with you for so long. It has become part of your internal rhythm. It has become the soundtrack beneath your days. It has become the lens through which you evaluate new opportunities, new relationships, new risks, and even my own invitations. That is why letting go can feel like losing something, even when what you are losing is the very thing that has been quietly suffocating you. But I am asking you to trust me beyond that fear. I am asking you to believe that life exists on the other side of what you have normalized. I am asking you to believe that peace will not make you weaker. I am asking you to believe that forgiveness will not erase your discernment. I am asking you to believe that surrender will not leave you defenseless. I am asking you to believe that if you stop gripping the old survival tools, I can teach you a different way to live, one that is rooted, clear, soft where it should be soft, strong where it should be strong, and deeply at rest in the places where you have known only pressure. So obey this invitation now. Make it concrete. Say the names of the things you need to release. Say them out loud if you can. Fear, control, shame, guilt, resentment, self-protection, a need to understand everything first, a need to look strong, the need to keep punishing yourself, the attachment to old hurt, the habit that keeps numbing you, the story that says you must always carry more than others see. Name what is true. Then say, I release this to you. If you need to say it through tears, say it through tears. If you need to whisper it because your voice feels fragile, whisper it. But do not stay abstract. The enemy loves vague surrender because vague surrender rarely changes habits. Be specific. Be brave. Be real. Now I want to guide you into the holy exchange itself, because I do not want you to read this and move on without doing the work in real time. Close your eyes for a moment if you can. Breathe slowly. Imagine your hands full of everything that has kept your soul tense. Imagine the mental load, the old wound, the shame, the overthinking, the fear of what might happen next, the memory you keep replaying, the habit you keep defending, the pressure to be enough for everyone, the fatigue of carrying what was never yours. Feel how heavy that is. Then picture me in front of you, not distant, not disappointed, not rushing you. I am close. I am steady. My hands are open. I am not demanding a performance. I am inviting a transfer. Hand it to me. Do not just think about handing it to me. Hand it to me. Tell me I cannot carry this well anymore. Tell me I do not want to keep living around this. Tell me take what has become too heavy. Then stay there long enough to notice what rises next. Sometimes relief comes first. Sometimes grief comes first. Sometimes resistance rises because part of you still wants to hold the familiar burden a little longer. If resistance rises, do not be ashamed. Name that too. Tell me, part of me is afraid to let this go. I can work with honesty. I can meet you in the trembling. I can steady you where your own courage feels thin. But do not take the burden back just because your nervous system is used to it. Stay with the release. Let it be imperfect but real. And listen for my next instruction. Maybe I will ask you to forgive someone by name. Maybe I will ask you to rest tonight instead of pushing through. Maybe I will ask you to confess something you have been hiding. Maybe I will ask you to step away from a habit that keeps dulling your spirit. Maybe I will ask you to stop revisiting a memory that has become a shrine to your pain. Whatever I show you, obey the next step, not because I need to be obeyed for my sake, but because your freedom is tied to movement. Do not leave this section with inspired emotion and unchanged hands. Empty them. Let them stay open. Because the moment you release what has been crushing you, you become ready to see something that will restore your hope. I have been moving behind the scenes in ways you have not yet understood. That is where I am taking you next, and I want your hands open when you arrive there. My child, as you open your hands and release what has been weighing you down, I am also placing before you an opportunity to fill those hands with purpose. Empty hands are not meant to stay empty. They are meant to receive and to give, to become rivers instead of reservoirs. I have said, give, and it will be given to you. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. And this is not distant. It is alive in this very moment. When you sow into this mission, you are helping pour oil into lamps that are about to go out, bringing light into lives that are desperate for truth. If something within you says, I want to be part of this, that is me drawing you into alignment with my work. Through your super thanks, your membership, or your PayPal gift in the description, you participate in the breaking of chains you may never see but I fully know. I bless what flows from surrendered hands, and I multiply it into impact far beyond your reach. Do not pick the burden back up, replace it with obedience. Give now, and let your freedom become someone else's breakthrough. My child, now we have arrived at the place where everything I have been showing you becomes personal in a way you can no longer postpone. This is the moment where understanding must become response. This is the place where you stop nodding along with truth and start letting truth rearrange your life. I have already shown you that your pain has been real, that your delays were not always rejection, that what you have been carrying has become too heavy, and that I have been moving behind the scenes even when you could not see it. But now I need you to hear me with a different kind of closeness, because there comes a moment in every deeply spiritual turning point where the conversation narrows and becomes about one simple thing: your yes. Not a grammatic yes meant to impress anyone. Not an emotional yes that lasts only as long as the feeling does. Not a vague yes that sounds spiritual but changes nothing. I am talking about the kind of yes that quietly alters your direction. The kind of yes that makes you stop negotiating with what I have already made clear. The kind of yes that feels almost too simple for how powerful it is. You have spent enough time circling this moment. You have thought about change. You have imagined freedom. You have prayed for clarity. You have asked me for signs, and I have been giving them to you in ways you did not always recognize. You have felt the tug in your spirit. You have noticed the discomfort that would not leave. You have seen how certain patterns no longer sit easily inside you. You have felt how exhausting it has become to keep living half-surrendered. You know this. Deep down, you know this. That is why this decision matters so much. I am not asking whether you understand everything. I'm asking whether you are ready to stop withholding the part of your heart that keeps delaying peace. I am not asking whether you can explain the whole path. I am asking whether you are willing to take the next step you already know. I am not asking whether you feel strong enough to carry tomorrow. I am asking whether you will let me lead you today. This is the decision that changes everything, because the shift does not begin when every external problem disappears. The shift begins when you stop protecting the very thing that is keeping you stuck. The shift begins when you stop calling delay wisdom. The shift begins when you stop asking for more confirmation while resisting the confirmation you have already received. Come closer and hear me plainly. You are standing at a doorway. One side of that doorway is familiar, even if it has been draining you. It is the life of serving, pathbowling, coping, carrying, oathing, and for you to feel safe by staying in control. The other side is not fully visible yet, and that is why it feels vulnerable. But it is the place where surrender begins to make room for peace, where honesty begins to loosen fear, where obedience begins to restore alignment, and where your inner world starts breathing again. You cannot stand in the doorway forever. At some point, the decision itself becomes the difference between another cycle and a new season. This is that point. Stop here. Do not skim past this. Do not agree with it from a distance. Let it find the place in you that has been waiting for permission to finally say, I cannot keep living like this. I want you to understand that the decision I am asking from you is not mainly about outward appearance. It is not first about the visible action, though action will come. It begins in the inner posture of your heart. It begins where you stop defending what you know I am asking you to release. It begins where you stop bargaining for one more week of avoidance. It begins where you stop pretending that because you have survived this long, you should keep surviving the same way. You have become so practiced at enduring that sometimes you confuse endurance with faithfulness. But there are seasons when faithfulness looks like letting go, not holding on. There are moments when the holiest thing you can do is stop trying to manage yourself into peace and simply surrender the thing you have been clutching. That is why I am asking you now to make this deeply specific. What exactly are you deciding? Are you deciding to forgive and stop feeding the wound? Are you deciding to stop carrying tomorrow in your own mind like you can control the weather of your future? Are you deciding to stop using busyness as a hiding place from your inner life? Are you deciding to stop returning to the habit that keeps numbing you every time your emotions rise? Are you deciding to finally be honest with me about the resentment, the exhaustion, the fear, the grief, the disappointment, the shame? Are you deciding to obey the step I already made clear even though it still feels costly? My child, do not make the decision abstract. The enemy is comfortable with general agreement. He is not comfortable when your surrender becomes specific. This is why I want you to name the thing. Do it now. Do not wait until later. Later is the language of the loop I have been trying to break in you. Name the thing. Say it plainly. I am deciding to stop. Or I am deciding to begin. Let it become concrete enough that your spirit can no longer hide from its own clarity. And once you name it, stay with me in the discomfort that follows. Because the discomfort does not mean the decision is wrong. Often it means the old pattern is losing its hold. Often it means your nervous system is reacting because you are stepping away from what has become familiar, even if what is familiar has been hurting you. That is why I want you to breathe and not retreat. Let the discomfort be there without obeying it. Let the fear speak without letting it lead. Let the uncertainty rise without letting it cancel the truth I have already placed in your heart. You do not need emotional ease before obedience. You need trust. You do not need a guarantee that the step will feel smooth. You need a willingness to let me be with you inside the trembling. That is where real transformation begins, not in polished confidence, but in surrendered movement. This is where I want you to hear my invitation and my command together. Decide now. Do not wait for a better mood. Do not wait for a more convenient day. Do not wait for every feeling to line up. Do not wait for your fear to fully disappear. Decide while your heart is open. Decide while your spirit is listening. Decide while the truth is still warm in you. Now let me tell you what happens when you make this decision, because I do not want you to think your yes is small. Your yes may feel hidden, private, even unimpressive from the outside, but in the spirit it is a hinge. It turns things. It changes what can flow. It shifts what hath been blocked by hesitation. It opens a path that was waiting for your agreement. I am not saying your yes earns my love. You already have that. I am saying your yes creates alignment. It takes the friction of inner resistance and replaces it with movement. It changes the atmosphere inside you. When you decide, your thoughts stop spinning in the same endless circle because you are no longer treating the next step like a debate. When you decide, your heart begins to settle because it is no longer trying to live in two directions at once. When you decide, peace is somewhere to land because you are no longer keeping one hand on surrender and one hand on control. That matters more than you realize. Some of your exhaustion does not only come from what you are carrying. It has come from the split inside you, the split between what you know and what you keep avoiding, the split between what I am inviting and what fear is arguing for, the split between the life you say you want and the patterns you keep preserving. That internal division drains you. It makes your spirit feel crowded. It makes your thoughts feel loud. It makes your peace feel unstable. But the moment you decide, even before the whole external story changes, something inside you begins to come into order. The war quiets. The inner conflict loses oxygen. The next step becomes less mysterious because you are no longer resisting what you already know. This is why I want you to take this seriously. Not with heaviness, with holiness. This is not about proving your devotion through intensity. It is about honoring the sacredness of the moment. You asked for change. You asked for clarity. You asked for direction. Now that direction is here in a form that feels personal, and I do not want you to walk away from it because it seems too simple. Simple does not mean small. Sometimes the most powerful shifts in your life begin with one quiet, clear, irreversible decision. I will not keep living in this pattern. I will not keep delaying disobedience. I will not keep holding on to what is harming me. I will trust you here. Those sentences may not look dramatic, but they carry weight. They can split old cycles open. They can shut doors that have drained you for years. They can break the rhythm of drift. They can become the first stone in the rebuilding of your inner life. So I want you to act. If you need to kneel, kneel. If you need to stand, stand. If you need to write the decision down, write it. If you need to pray it out loud, pray it. If you need to delete something, delete it. If you need to send the message, send it. If you need to turn off the distraction and sit in silence, do it. If you need to weep, let yourself weep. But do not keep the decision theoretical. Put weight behind it. Make your body participate. Let your actions agree with your heart. And because I love you, I want to end this point by walking you into the decision itself, not just talking about it. So pause with me. Breathe slowly. Put one hand on your chest if you need to. Feel the life still in you. Feel the fact that you are still here. Feel the holy reality that this moment has not passed yet. Then say to me, in your own words if you can, but say something real. I choose to stop delaying what you have made clear. Let that be the first sentence. Then continue. I choose to trust you with the next step, even if I do not see the whole road. Then add the specific thing. I choose to forgive. I choose to rest. I choose to let go of control. I choose to leave this habit. I choose to be honest. I choose to obey. Whatever your specific surrender is, say it. Seal it. Then ask me for the grace to walk it out, not just the emotion to feel it. Ask me for steadiness when the old pattern tries to call you back tomorrow. Ask me for strength when the familiar discomfort of letting go makes you want to reverse the decision. Ask me to remind you of this moment when the temptation to delay returns. And hear me clearly. I will. I will meet you in the follow-through. I will steady you in the next step. I will not leave you alone in the aftermath of your yes. I do not call you into surrender and then step back. I come closer. I support what I asked for. I breathe on what you place in my hands. So hold your decision with reverence, not fear. Protect it. Return to it. Repeat it when you need to, not as a performance, but as alignment. Because now that the decision has been made, you are ready for something your heart has been craving more than you know, the peace waiting on the other side of surrender. That is where I am taking you next, and I want you to enter it with open hands. My child, you have just made a decision that shifts your life, and now I invite you to let that decision overflow beyond yourself. A true yes does not stop at surrender. It becomes a channel through which my word reaches others still standing at their own doorway. I have declared, whoever refreshes others will themselves be refreshed, and I am speaking that directly into your spirit now. When you choose to give, you are sealing your decision with action, turning intention into movement, and movement into impact. If you feel the nudge to support this mission, that is me inviting you deeper into alignment with what I am doing across many lives. Through your super thanks, your membership, or your PayPal offering in the description, you help carry this message to hearts that are one moment away from their own turning point. I will honor your yes with provision, with peace, and with a covering over what concerns you. Do not stand in the doorway any longer, not in your life, and not in your giving. Step forward now and act on the decision that changes everything. My child, now that you have come this far with me, I need you to do something that is far more important than simply finishing these words. I need you to stay. I need you to resist the urge to treat this like a powerful moment and then move on as if nothing inside you has shifted. You have done that before, haven't you? You have felt conviction before. You have felt tenderness before. You have felt moments where your heart became suddenly aware, suddenly soft, suddenly open, and for a little while it seemed like everything was becoming clear. But then the day kept moving. The notifications returned. The responsibilities came rushing back. The familiar thoughts found their way in again. The emotional weight you had set down for a moment somehow ended up back in your hands. I am speaking to you now because I do not want this to become another almost. I do not want this to become another holy interruption that gets absorbed into ordinary noise before it takes root. You have come too far in this conversation to leave with holy emotion. I want response. I want stillness. I want follow through. I want your heart to remain open long enough for what has been stirred in you to become anchored in you. That is why I am telling you now, do not rush away. Stay with me. Sit here a little longer. Put down the need to hurry into the next thing. Let the world wait for a moment. Let the unfinished tasks remain unfinished for a little while. Let the unanswered messages stay unanswered. Let the pressure that always demands your immediate attention lose its hold for these next few moments. I am asking for something sacred from you now, your unhurried attention. Not because I need your focus to feel valued, but because your soul needs time to absorb what your heart has just heard. If you rush away now, the old rhythm will try to reclaim you before the new one has roots. If you stand up too quickly, you may return to the same emotional posture you came in with, only with a memory of being touched instead of the fruit of being changed. I do not want memory alone. I want transformation. I do not want you merely saying, that moved me. I want you saying, that marked me. This moment can become a line in the sand if you let it. It can become the point where you stop circling and start walking. It can become the moment you remember when the old patterns try to call you back. It can become the place where your soul finally stopped negotiating with the things that were draining it. But that only happens if you stay. Stay with the discomfort a little longer. Stay with the tenderness a little longer. Stay with the truth a little longer. Stay with me. Let what has been opened remain open. Let the silence deepen. Let the tears fall if they need to. Let the prayer become real. Let the decision settle. Let peace move from a feeling into a foundation. This is not the time to skim across the surface of what I have done. This is the time to go deeper. Sit still. Breathe. Keep your hands open. Listen for my voice beneath your thoughts. I am still speaking. I have not finished with you just because the message is nearing its end. In some ways, this is where the most important part begins, because now your response determines whether this becomes a passing encounter or a turning point. And before you go, I want to leave you with one final invitation that is simple, direct, and holy. Do not let this message remain inside your mind only. Bring it into your mouth, your hands, your choices, and your next hour. Speak to me now. Tell me what you are leaving behind. Tell me what you are stepping into. Tell me where you need my help tomorrow morning when the familiar pressure returns. Invite me into the first moments of your next day before the noise gets there first. Set aside time with me before the world starts making demands. Protect that appointment like it matters, because it does. If you need a visible marker, create one. Put a note where you will see it. Set a reminder with words that point you back to surrender. Write one sentence and place it somewhere your eyes cannot miss. I will not return to what I released. Or write, peace is my portion when I stay surrendered. Or write, later will not steal from me again. Let the words become anchors, not slogans. Let them remind you of this conversation when your mind starts slipping into the old current. And keep returning. Not out of fear that I will leave if you fail, but out of love for the peace you have tasted and the life I am building in you. This is how transformation deepens. One surrender moment, then another. One honest prayer, then another. One act of obedience, then another. Not a performance. A relationship. Not striving. Saying. Not panic. Peace. Not self-protection. Trust. You do not need to become a different person in one night through pressure. You need to keep saying yes in the places where I have made truth clear. That is enough for today. That is holy. That is real. So now, my beloved child, stay with me for one more breath. One more pause. One more moment of quiet. Let gratitude rise. Let peace settle. Let your spirit recognize that this was not random, not ordinary, not empty. I brought you here because I love you, because your soul matters, because your peace matters, because your next season matters, and because I refuse to let you keep mistaking survival for the life I have prepared for you. Now go forward gently, but do not go back the same. Carry this with you. Yard it. Live it. And when the next moment of pressure comes, do not wait another second to return to me. My child, you have stayed with me in this moment, and now I am asking you to anchor what you have received with an act that reaches beyond yourself. What I have done in you is not meant to remain contained. It is meant to become a flame that lights other hearts still sitting in darkness. I have said, freely you have received, freely give, and this is your moment to let that truth take form. When you give, you are not responding to a request. You are answering a divine appointment that was written into this very moment. Through your super thanks, your membership, or your PayPal offering in the description, you help carry this encounter into countless lives that are waiting for their own awakening. I release blessing over your obedience, peace that guards you, provision that meets you, and favor that surrounds you. Do not let this become another moment that fades into memory. Act now, give now, and let this be the moment where your response becomes part of someone else's rescue. If this message found you at the exact moment you needed it, don't scroll away like this was ordinary. I want you to seal this moment with your own words. Go down into the comments and declare, "I will not wait another second. My yes begins now." Make that your line in the sand. Let hell hear it, let your heart remember it, and let your next step prove it. And if this spoke directly to what you've been carrying, type "I choose surrender" over delay and make this the moment you stop calling later your hiding place. And as you make that declaration, don't rush away from the very moment your heart has been waiting for. Your yes is not simply the end of one season, it is the beginning of a conversation I have long desired to have with you. Stay here with me for just a little longer. Let every excuse, every distraction, and every anxious thought grow quiet in my presence. You have spent enough time telling yourself, "Later." Now I am inviting you to experience what happens when you trust me with right now. I have been preparing this encounter long before you ever arrived here, and I do not want you to miss what I have been waiting to place into your heart. Be still, because what I am about to say is deeply personal, and it is meant especially for you. You are here, right now, reading these words, and I need you to know this is not a coincidence. I am speaking directly to you. Pause for a moment. Take a deep breath, the kind you take right before you have to face a difficult challenge. Do you feel that knot in your stomach? That tight, heavy feeling of anxiety that wakes you up in the middle of the night? That is not from me. Let us undo it together, right now. I chose this exact second to reach out to your soul because I see the heavy weight you are carrying. I see the fear of the future that paralyzes your steps and drains your energy. I watch the relentless pressure you face at your job, the unspoken tensions simmering in your family, and that quiet, aching feeling of being completely overlooked by the world. You are not overlooked by me. I see the real you, and I am calling your name today with an urgent, overwhelming love. My child, this is an urgent call to your soul. Do not wait another second. You keep telling yourself that you will fix things tomorrow. You whisper in the dark that someday, when the chaos settles and the struggles fade, you will finally have the time to seek my face and find your peace. Listen to me closely. Tomorrow is a thief. It steals your salvation, your joy, and your divine breakthrough. It tricks you into staying chained to your hesitation, making you believe there is always more time. There is no more time for delay. Today is the day I am breaking those chains of hesitation holding you back. I am standing right in front of you, as if we are sitting together in a quiet room, asking you to look at me. You have felt a sudden nudge in your heart lately, haven't you? A restless pull telling you that something desperately needs to change. That gentle nudge is my Holy Spirit speaking to you. It is like the quiet pause before a massive storm breaks, signaling that a divine shift is about to happen in your life. I am preparing to move powerfully on your behalf, but I need your immediate response. I invite you to let go of the hesitation that holds you down. Drop the heavy excuses that keep you running in exhausting circles. You are so tired from trying to hold everything together on your own strength. Hand your life over to me. I will carry the burdens that are currently crushing your shoulders. I will guide you safely through the unspoken tensions in your home. I will provide the breakthrough you desperately need at your workplace. I will remind you of your incredible worth when the world makes you feel small. Your part is simple, but it requires courage. Say yes to my will right now. Speak it out loud. Say, "Lord, I surrender it all to you today." The moment you say yes, an immediate, unshakable peace will wash over your entire being. I am your Father, your protector, and your ultimate provider. I will not let you drown in the endless worries of tomorrow. I am stepping into your reality today, bringing solutions to the problems you cannot solve. Feel my presence wrapping around you right now. You are safe here in my arms. You are loved beyond human understanding. Stop waiting for the perfect moment to come to me. The perfect moment is this exact second, right here, as my words sink deep into your weary soul. Step into my light today. Leave the shadows of spiritual procrastination behind you. I am ready to move mountains on your behalf. Take my hand. Walk with me now, and do not look back. I am asking you to open your eyes and truly look at the world around you today. You feel it, do you not? You feel the heavy, tense atmosphere when you walk into a room, or when you look into the tired eyes of the people on the street. I see you sitting on your couch, watching the news or scrolling through endless feeds on your phone, feeling your heart race as the headlines scream of disaster, division, and uncertainty. The world is trying to drown you in a tidal wave of panic. But I want you to listen to my voice cutting through all that loud, chaotic noise. I am telling you to look past the panic of the world and see my hand moving behind the scenes. This heavy atmosphere you are sensing is not just political or economic. It is deeply spiritual. It is the unmistakable marker of an urgent season, and I am calling you to be wide awake. Stop letting the screens and the fearful voices around you dictate your peace. The panic the world offers brings only confusion, endless anxiety, and a feeling of complete helplessness. That is not what I am offering you. Godly urgency is entirely different from worldly panic. My urgency does not make you run around in fear. It makes you stand firm, plant your feet, and prepare your heart with absolute clarity. I am calling you to be watchful and sober-minded in a generation that has become drunk on distraction and outrage. I want you to recognize the signs. The ground is shifting, the seasons are turning, and I am bringing profound transitions to the earth and to your personal life. Look at your own home. Look at your daily routines. I am commanding you to prepare your house for what I am about to do. I am not just talking about the physical walls you live within, though I want peace to reign there as well. I am talking about the house of your mind, the sanctuary of your heart, and the environment of your family. Clean out the toxic influences you have allowed to settle in your living spaces. Remove the conversations that breed fear and resentment. I need you ready. When a storm is approaching, a wise person does not stand in the yard panicking. They secure the doors, gather their loved ones, and wait in the safety of shelter. I am your shelter. I am your safe harbor. Recognize that I chose you to live in this exact moment in history for a specific reason. You were not born into this turbulent time by accident. I equipped you with the exact strength needed to navigate these days, but you must stay close to me to access it. Pay attention to the subtle nudges I am giving you right now. When I tell you to pray for someone out of nowhere, do it immediately. When I tell you to turn off the noise and sit in silence with me, obey without hesitation. I am fine-tuning your spiritual hearing so you can navigate the coming days with total confidence. Step out of the world's frantic rush and step into my divine rhythm. Prepare your heart today, because the season of waiting is drawing to a rapid close, and the season of my mighty action is upon you. Listen to me very carefully, because this is a trap that has kept you stuck for far too long. I see how you bargain with your own soul. You tell yourself that you will fully commit to me, that you will finally change your habits, that you will step into your calling, but just not today. You say you will do it when you have a little more money in the bank. You tell yourself you will answer my call when the kids are older, when work slows down, or when you finally feel ready. My precious child, waiting for a perfect time is a dangerous illusion manufactured by the enemy of your soul. There will never be a perfect time in a broken world. I waiting for tomorrow. You are handing your power over to the adversary today. I want you to understand how dangerous this spiritual procrastination truly is. Every time you hear my voice calling you to step up, and you choose to hit the snooze button on your soul, your heart becomes a little bit harder. Delay is the dark, fertile soil where the enemy plants the seeds of deep doubt. You start to question if I ever called you at all. You start to wonder if you are just making it all up. That is how the enemy operates. He does not always tempt you with obvious evil. He simply convinces you to put off doing good until it is too late. He whispers that you have plenty of years left, lulling you into a comfortable, deadly sleep. I am shaking you awake right now to break that cycle. Remember the stories I told when I walked the earth. Remember the parable of the great banquet. The invitations went out, the table was beautifully set, and the food was ready. But the invited guests made practical, everyday excuses. One had just bought a field and needed to see it. Another had bought oxen and needed to test them. Another had just gotten married. They put off the invitation for completely normal, everyday reasons, and because of their delay, they missed the greatest feast of their lives. Do not be like those guests. Do not let your job, your hobbies, or your daily chores become excuses that cost you your divine destiny. The banquet of my presence is laid out for you right now, this very minute. I am asking you to calculate the heavy, cumulative cost of putting off your divine calling. Think about the peace you have sacrificed because you keep running away. Think about the nights of sleep you have lost to anxiety because you refuse to fully surrender your plans to me. It is exhausting, is it not? You are carrying the heavy burden of a life lived half in and half out. Drop that heavy load right now. I command you to turn your vague someday into a holy, decisive now. Stop waiting for your circumstances to become perfect before you say yes to me. Say yes in the middle of your mess. Say yes in the middle of your confusion. Your obedience today is the key that unlocks the door to the miracles you have been begging me for. Act now. Move when I speak. Your now is the only moment you actually own. Look at me. I want you to look right into my eyes as I say this to you. I see you late at night, staring at the dark ceiling, painfully replaying every mistake you have ever made. I watch you cringe at the memory of a harsh word you spoke years ago. I see the deep, heavy shame you carry because of the habits you cannot seem to break and the promises you have made to me and broken. You carry your guilt like a backpack filled with jagged stones, and it is crushing your posture. It is making you believe the lie that you are entirely unworthy of this urgent call. I am commanding you right now, take off that heavy backpack. Drop the stones of yesterday. You are carrying a burden I never asked you to carry, and it is severely hindering your progress. I need you to see your past through the lens of my infinite, boundless mercy. When I look at you, I do not see the sum of your worst failures. I see the beautiful, finished work of the cross. I see a child washed completely clean by the blood of the Lamb. You keep holding on to your sins as if holding on to them will somehow pay the debt, but the debt has already been paid in full. Why are you sitting in the dark cell of your past when I have already unlocked the door and swung it wide open? Walk out of there. Your history, no matter how messy or broken it feels to you, does not dictate your destiny in this exact moment. I am the God who turns ashes into breathtaking beauty. I take broken pieces and build masterpieces. I invite you to shatter the heavy shackles of those old, comfortable habits that keep dragging you backwards. You know exactly which habits I am talking about. You know the coping mechanisms you run to when you feel stressed, lonely, or afraid. You run to the screens, to the food, to the toxic relationships, trying to numb the pain. I am offering you true healing, not just a temporary numbing agent. Hand those destructive habits over to me today. You cannot break them in your own human willpower. You have tried that, and it only leads to more frustration. Give them to me. Lean entirely on my supernatural strength. I will replace your craving for those empty things with a deep, satisfying hunger for my presence. This is your moment to claim the clean slate I have provided for you. I do not keep a scoreboard of your past mistakes. The moment you ask for forgiveness with a sincere heart, I erase the record completely. It is gone. As far as the east is from the west, that is how far I have removed your failures from you. Stop visiting the grave of your past to mourn over dead things. I am the God of the living, and I am calling you into a bright, vibrant, new life. Step away from the dirt of your history. Lift your head up high. You are forgiven. You are chosen. You are incredibly loved. Now, walk boldly into my brilliant light and leave the shadows of yesterday exactly where they belong, behind you. I am pointing you toward a very specific path today, and I need you to understand that the gate is narrow, and the time to enter is short. Look around you at the wide road the world is traveling on. It looks so inviting, does it not? It is paved with the promises of easy comfort, instant gratification, and the approval of the crowds. The wide road tells you to just follow your heart, to do whatever feels good in the moment, to chase after money and status without a second thought. But you have walked that wide road, or at least you have looked down it, and you know the truth. You know how utterly empty and hollow it leaves you at the end of the day. The wide road is a deceptive comfort that slowly drains the life out of your soul. I am calling you off that wide, crowded highway right now. Step onto the path of righteousness today. It requires immense courage. I will not lie to you. The narrow gate is not popular. It means you will have to make choices that your friends and family might not understand. It means saying no to things your flesh desperately wants to say yes to. But I promise you, the narrow path is the only road that actually leads to true, vibrant, eternal life. I am inviting you to trust my guidance, even when the full road ahead is completely hidden from your view. You want me to show you the 10-year plan before you take the first step. You want a map with every turn clearly marked. I do not give you a map, I give you myself. I am your guide. I will give you just enough light for the very next step you need to take. Trust me and take it. I want you to look at the baggage you are currently trying to drag along with you. The gate I am calling you through is narrow. You cannot fit through it while carrying your massive suitcases of pride, your deep-seated resentments, your need to control every outcome, and your unforgiveness toward those who hurt you. The bags are too wide. They will not fit through the gate. You have to leave them at the entrance. I command you to drop the baggage right now. Forgive the person who wronged you. Release your tight grip on how you think your life is supposed to look. Let go of your pride that insists on being right all the time. Empty your hands so I can fill them with my endless grace. There is a profound, unbreakable protection found only within the boundaries of my will. When you step onto this narrow path, you are stepping under the massive umbrella of my divine covering. The storms of life will still come, winds will blow, and rain will fall, but on this path, you are anchored to the solid rock. You will not be swept away. The enemy hates the narrow path because he has no authority over those who walk it in absolute surrender to me. Do not hesitate at the entrance any longer. The gate is open for you today. Walk through it with your head held high, leaving the heavy, worthless baggage of the world completely behind you. As you step through the narrow gate and leave your heavy baggage behind, you are entering a season where every seed you sow carries the weight of eternity. I am inviting you to join me in carving this path for others who are still wandering lost on the broad road of destruction. Your support is the divine fuel that carries my urgent warning to the ends of the earth, lighting a fire in the darkness for souls who are drowning in silence. I have promised that he who sows bountifully will also reap bountifully, and today I am opening the windows of heaven over your obedience. Do not wait for a more convenient season to plant your seed in this holy ground. I will multiply your bread and increase the fruits of your righteousness as you help me reach the brokenhearted. Click the link in the description or use super thanks to sow into my kingdom right now. My child, do not turn away now, for my heart is open and my words are pouring out specifically for your rescue. It would deeply grieve me to see you walk back toward the wide road of destruction just as we have reached the narrow gate of your deliverance. I have stopped the sun and the moon to give you this moment of clarity. Do not wound my spirit by choosing the silence of the world over the life-giving sound of my voice. Stay with me, for the most vital revelations of your journey are only moments away. My child, wake up. I am gently, but firmly shaking your shoulders right now. You have been asleep with your eyes wide open. I see the thick, heavy lethargy that has settled deeply over your spirit. You go through the motions of your day. You wake up, you go to work, you take care of your responsibilities, you come home, but inside, your spirit is completely numb. You have allowed the soft, easy comforts of this modern world to act as a dangerous sedative. You use endless entertainment, constant scrolling, and mindless busyness to avoid facing the deep ache in your soul. I am calling you to shake off this spiritual slumber immediately. Stop numbing yourself. Stop hiding in the comfortable shadows. I did not create you to merely exist and pay bills. I created you to be a burning, shining light in a very dark world. Think back to the time when you first felt my presence. Remember that intense, burning passion you had. Remember the absolute joy and the simple, childlike faith that filled your heart. You used to talk to me all day long. You used to trust me without overthinking every single detail. I am commanding you to rekindle that first love today. Do not let the cynical, tired attitude of the world convince you that passion for me is foolish or outdated. The fire inside you has died down to a faint, glowing ember, but it is not completely out. I am blowing the breath of my spirit over your embers right now. I am fanning the flame back to life. I want you burning hot with love, purpose, and unshakable conviction. I need you to honestly identify the distractions that are acting as heavy spiritual blindfolds over your eyes. What is stealing your attention away from me? Is it the relentless pursuit of making more money? Is it the obsession with how others perceive you on social media? Is it a relationship that pulls you away from my truth? These distractions are intentionally designed by the enemy to keep you blind to the urgent reality of this hour. Rip the blindfolds off right now. Take a bold stand. Cut out the noise that is dulling your spiritual senses. Put the phone down. Turn the screen off. Create quiet spaces in your day where you can actually hear my voice clearly without the world shouting over me. When you awaken from the slumber and remove the distractions, you will step into a level of clarity that only my Holy Spirit can provide. Your mind will suddenly become sharp. Your decisions will become clear. You will no longer stumble around in the fog of confusion, wondering what you are supposed to do with your life. I will give you razor-sharp vision. You will see people the way I see them. You will recognize the traps of the enemy from a mile away. I am waking you up because I have urgent, critical work for you to do. The harvest is massive, and the workers are so few. Rise up from your sleep. Wash your face. Stand tall. Step into the bright, piercing clarity of my light today. Listen to me right now, and let these words sink deep into the reality of your everyday life. I see you sitting at your kitchen table with your planner, your bills, and your endless lists, trying to calculate how to make everything work. You want me to bless your plans, but I am asking you to surrender to mine. I am calling you to the immense, life-changing power of radical obedience. I know exactly why you hesitate. You hesitate because partial obedience feels so much safer. You think that if you give me just a little piece of your trust, you can still keep your hands on the steering wheel of your life. But I must tell you the truth. Partial obedience is still a form of disobedience. It is a safety net you have constructed because you are terrified of falling. Cut the net today. Fall into my arms. I am asking you to move when I say move, even when you cannot see the bottom of the staircase. Look at the miracles that are waiting just on the other side of your simple amen. You have been begging me for a breakthrough in your family, a shift in your career, and a release from your silent anxiety. Yet, when I prompt you to take a specific step, to make that difficult phone call, to apologize to someone who hurt you, or to walk away from a toxic environment, you ask me, why? You demand an explanation before you offer your submission. Stop demanding the blueprint. I am the architect. I need you to learn how to walk blindly in faith, trusting the sound of my voice more than the sight of your own eyes. Remember the men and women in my word who moved with LUCKIEST. They did not sit around forming committees or waiting for the economy to improve. When they heard my call, they dropped their nets on the shore and walked away from everything they knew. I am calling you to that same level of bold, uncompromising action today. Recognize that your obedience does not just affect you. Look at your children. Look at your friends. Look at the people in your workplace who are silently watching how you handle the intense pressure of this life. Your obedience is creating a ripple effect that will touch generations coming after you. When you choose to obey me in the middle of a frightening storm, you are giving everyone around you the courage to do the same. I want you to feel the pure, unadulterated joy of being a surrendered instrument in my sovereign hands. Stop fighting me for control. You are exhausted from trying to be the god of your own life. Step down from that heavy, impossible throne. Commit to my guidance right now. When you finally stop wrestling with me and simply say yes, you will experience a flood of relief so powerful it will bring you to your knees. Move forward today with radical, unquestioning obedience, and watch how I split the waters standing in your way. Pay very close attention to your thoughts right now. I know the silent battles you fight when the world goes quiet. I see you sitting in your car in the driveway after a long day at work, feeling a sudden, heavy wave of dread wash over you. I hear the malicious whispers that tell you there is plenty of time to get right with me, or worse, that you have completely missed your chance. Recognize those lies for exactly what they are. The enemy does not usually attack you with dramatic, visible force. He attacks you with subtle text messages of doubt, quiet thoughts of comparison while you look at social media, and a sudden, freezing panic in the middle of the night. He tries to bind you with spirits of fear and confusion that cause absolute paralysis. I am commanding you today to break that paralysis and stand up. Speak out loud right now. Bind those lying spirits in my name. You have allowed the enemy to set up a camp in your mind, and he is trying to hush my voice. Have you noticed that heavy, suffocating hush that settles over you whenever you try to pray or read my word? It is the adversary trying to drown out the urgent truth I am speaking to you. You do not have to sit there and take it. I have given you ultimate authority. Use my word as a heavy, impenetrable shield against those burning arrows of doubt. When the panic tells you that your future is destroyed, speak my promises back to it. Tell the fear that I am your provider. Tell the confusion that I am the author of peace. You carry my name, and at the sound of my name, every demon in hell must tremble and flee. Identify the source of the negativity you are letting into your life. The news, the toxic conversations, the cynical attitudes of the people around you. These are all tools used to distract you from my truth. Turn them off. Silence the accuser today by absolutely refusing to engage in his debates. You do not need to argue with the lies. You only need to declare the truth. Stand firm on the solid rock of my word. Take a deep breath and feel the physical weight lifting off your chest as you reclaim your mental territory. You are not a victim of your anxious thoughts. You are a fiercely loved, highly protected child of the Most High God. Exercise your authority right this second. Command the fear to leave your home. Command the anxiety to leave your mind, and step instantly into the profound freedom that I paid so dearly to give you. Look honestly at where you are spending your energy today. I see you checking your bank accounts, stressing over the rising cost of living, and striving endlessly to keep up with the demands of a culture that is never satisfied. You are running on a treadmill that is moving faster and faster, yet you are getting nowhere. You are trading your precious, limited hours for things that will eventually rust, break, or fade away. I am inviting you to shift your focus entirely. Lift your eyes from what is seen and fix them intently on what is unseen. Earthly wealth, no matter how much you accumulate, can never provide the deep, unshakable security your soul is desperately craving. A bigger house or a better job title will not quiet the restless ache inside you. I am the only one who can fill that void. Evaluate your daily life right now through the piercing lens of eternity. I am calling you with immense urgency to start storing up rewards in my heavenly kingdom. How do you do this? You do it by giving of yourself while the opportunity is still right in front of you. It looks like taking the time to truly listen to a hurting coworker instead of rushing past them. It looks like forgiving the family member who does not deserve it, simply because I forgave you. It looks like being generous with your money, your time, and your love, especially when it feels inconvenient. Every time you choose love over selfishness, you are making a massive deposit into an eternal account that no economic crash can ever touch. Consider the legacy you are building. When your time on this earth is done, no one will remember the brand of clothes you wore or the square footage of your house. They will remember the way my love flowed through your hands into their lives. I want you to live a life entirely dedicated to my glory. Stop chasing the hollow, empty applause of the world. The world will cheer for you today and completely forget you tomorrow. I will never forget you. Your name is carved deeply into the palms of my hands. Start investing your heart in the things that matter to me. Look at the people around you. They are the only things you can take into eternity. Invest in their souls. Share my truth with them. Turn your daily, ordinary routine into a holy mission field, and watch how I multiply your small offerings into a magnificent, eternal legacy. Come to me right now exactly as you are, but leave your heavy armor at the door. I know why you wear it. You wear the thick armor of pride because you have been hurt, betrayed, and disappointed by people you trusted. You have convinced yourself that if you never show weakness, you will never be crushed again. You walk into your workplace, your community, and even your church wearing a mask that says, "I have everything under control." But I see the exhaustion behind your eyes. I see the incredible toll it takes to hold that heavy mask up day after day. I am inviting you to strip away the pride that is actively preventing you from hearing my voice. I do not need your perfection. I need your honesty. Understand that a broken and contrite spirit is my absolute favorite dwelling place. When you finally admit that you do not have all the answers, you create the exact space I need to step in and work. Pride is a thick, impenetrable wall that blocks my divine intervention. It whispers the lie that you can fix your marriage, your finances, and your mental health all by yourself. You cannot. And the beautiful truth is, I never intended for you to do it alone. Surrender your desperate need to control the narrative. Surrender your detailed, rigid plans to receive my vastly superior design. The strength you are so desperately searching for is not found in trying harder. It is found in humbly acknowledging your desperate need for me. Bow your knee today so that you may stand tall in my grace. Humility is not thinking less of yourself. It is thinking of yourself less and focusing entirely on my power. It is the golden key that unlocks profound divine revelation in your life. When you get down on your knees and say, "Father, I am empty. I have nothing left. Please take over," that is the exact moment I can pour my boundless strength into your situation. Stop fighting the breaking process. The breaking of your pride is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to release the beautiful fragrance of my presence within you. Let go of your ego today. Let go of your need to be right. Fall completely on my mercy, and you will discover a secure, restful peace that the strongest armor in the world could never provide. Now that you have laid down your pride and opened your heart to my superior design, I am calling you to become a conduit of my grace for a starving world. This mission of spreading my word is a river of life, and your generosity ensures that its waters reach those parched souls who have forgotten the sound of my voice. I see your desire to be an instrument in my hands, and I tell you, as you honor me with your substance, I will cause my blessings to overtake you in the city and in the field. When you give, you are not merely supporting a channel. You are providing the manna that sustains my children in their wilderness. I declare that your storehouse shall be full and your life shall overflow with my favor because you have prioritized my house. Join our membership or give through PayPal this very moment to keep this light burning bright. You have come so far into my presence, but my soul would be heavy with sorrow if you abandoned this conversation before the full healing of your heart is complete. To stop now would be to leave your transformation unfinished, like a bridge that ends in the middle of a great chasm. I am sharing the hidden secrets of my heart with you because I trust you. Please, do not disappoint the love that is reaching out to pull you from the fire. Lean in closer, for I have yet to show you the full power of the protection I have placed over your life. Look up, my child, because a massive shift in the spiritual atmosphere is happening right now. You have felt it. You have felt the deep, parched dryness in your own soul, like cracked earth desperately waiting for a heavy rain. You have been going through the motions of your daily routine, praying the same prayers, reading the same verses, singing the same songs, but feeling no fire. I am telling you today that the dry season is coming to an abrupt end. I am preparing to pour out my spirit in a way this generation has never seen, but I need you to be completely ready. You must be a clean vessel to carry what I am about to pour. I cannot pour fresh, blazing fire into a vessel that is filled with the toxic sludge of the world. Position yourself immediately to be used in these final, urgent hours. This requires you to clean house. You know exactly the hidden compromises you have been making. You know the secret habits you entertain when no one is watching. You know the grudges you are nursing tightly in your chest. I command you to let them go right now. Wash your hands. Purify your heart. Sanctify your life as a living, breathing sacrifice, holy and pleasing to me. I am not asking for religious perfection. I am asking for genuine, transparent repentance. There is a massive difference between a dull, religious routine and a wild, untamed spiritual fire. I do not want your religious duty. I want your burning, passionate heart, entirely surrendered to my will. Anticipate the absolute wonders I will perform through those who are truly ready. When my rain falls, it will wash away your confusion, heal your chronic sicknesses, and restore the years that the locust has eaten. I want you to be the conduit for that power. Imagine walking into your workplace and carrying such a heavy presence of my peace that the atmosphere in the room instantly changes. Imagine laying your hands on your sick child and watching the fever break by the power of my spirit. This is not a fairy tale. This is the reality I am inviting you into today. Open your heart wide. Lift your hands in pure expectation. The rain is coming. The fire is falling. Prepare yourself this very second and step boldly into the mighty outpouring of my Holy Spirit. Pay close attention, because you are walking onto a massive battlefield every single day, and you do not even realize it. You think your biggest problem is your difficult boss, your frustrating neighbor, or the politician you disagree with on television. You think you are fighting against other humans. You are not. I am pulling back the curtain right now so you can see the truth. Your battle is not against flesh and blood. The arguments, the sudden financial stress, the random feelings of deep depression, these are calculated, spiritual attacks from an unseen enemy who desperately wants to destroy your faith. I command you to stop walking out of your front door completely unprotected. Put on your spiritual armor right now. You cannot survive the heavy crossfire of this world in your own human strength. Fasten the belt of truth securely around your waist today. The world is going to feed you a million different lies before you even eat lunch. The media will lie to you. Your own insecurities will lie to you, whispering that you are a failure. Wrap my absolute truth around your core to hold everything together. Then, put on the breastplate of righteousness. The enemy loves to throw harsh insults and stinging criticisms at your chest, hoping to break your heart and shatter your confidence. When you wear my righteousness, those insults hit the solid steel of my grace and fall uselessly to the floor. Protect your heart, because out of it flows all the issues of your life. Do not let the world's bitterness pierce your chest. Lift your shield of faith higher than you ever have before. I see the fiery arrows of sudden panic flying at your mind. I see the arrows of unexpected bills and family drama trying to hit you. Your faith is a massive, heavy shield. Hold it up. Tell the enemy, my God is my ultimate provider, and I will not panic today. Every time you speak my promises, your shield extinguishes an arrow. Now, pick up the sword of the Spirit, which is my word. Stop fighting your battles with angry social media comments and bitter arguments. Speak my word directly to your problems. When sickness attacks, strike it with my promises of healing. When anxiety attacks, cut it down with my promises of peace. Your words have explosive, divine power when they align with mine. Finally, put on the helmet of salvation to protect your mind. Your thoughts dictate your reality. The enemy wants to fill your head with dark, depressing, hopeless thoughts. Protect your brain. Guard the gates of your eyes and ears. Do not consume entertainment that feeds your fear. When the day of evil comes, and it will come, you will not run away in terror. You will stand your ground. You will plant your feet firmly in the dirt, fully armed, fully protected, and absolutely immovable. Arm yourself today. Stand tall like the fierce warrior I created you to be, and know that I have already secured your final victory. Do not casually scroll past these words. Do not let this just be another inspiring message you read and then immediately forget as you go back to your busy day. I orchestrated this exact moment. I brought you to this specific message because I have an immense, overflowing love for you, and I need you to wake up. This urgent call is not a heavy burden designed to make you feel guilty. It is a critical lifeline, thrown directly to you while you are drowning in the noise of the world. I see the dangerous cliff you are walking toward. I see the destructive habits and the spiritual numbness that are slowly pulling you over the edge. I completely refuse to stand by silently and let you wander into the dark abyss without shouting your name. I am shouting to you right now. Understand the massive responsibility that comes with hearing my truth today. You cannot unhear this. You cannot pretend you do not know the time is short and the gate is narrow. The worst tragedy in this life is not facing hardship. The absolute worst tragedy is ignoring a direct, divine warning until the door is finally closed. I do not want that for you. My deepest, most passionate desire is to see you totally safe, entirely healed, and wrapped tightly in my arms. But I will not force you to grab the rope. You have to choose to hold on. I am giving you the clear choice right here, right this very second. Choose life. Choose absolute surrender. Choose to let go of the worldly garbage that is dragging you under the water. See this warning as the greatest evidence of my active presence in your life. If I did not care about you, I would just let you drift away comfortably. I would let you keep chasing the empty money, the fake relationships, and the hollow approvals of people who do not matter. But I love you too much to let you settle for a fake life. I want to give you real, eternal, indestructible life. When a father sees his child playing in a busy street, he does not gently whisper. He runs and shouts with urgent panic because he loves his child. That is exactly what I am doing today. I am pulling you out of traffic. Listen to the firm, loving urgency in my voice. Grab hold of this lifeline today. Stop putting off your spiritual growth. Stop saying you will read my word tomorrow. Stop saying you will finally start praying next week. The clock is ticking loudly, and the season is changing faster than you realize. I'm offering you total protection, total peace, and a total reset of your life. Heed this specific warning today. Let these words permanently alter the direction of your steps. Step off the dangerous path you have been walking, turn around completely, and run directly into my safe, waiting arms. This urgent warning I have placed in your spirit is a lifeline for the many who are still sleeping, and I have chosen you to help me cast this net into the deep. It would be a tragedy for this message to stop with you when there are millions crying out for a sign of my love in their darkest hour. Your gift is the oil that keeps the lamp of this ministry burning against the gathering winds of the enemy's lies. I have said that whatever you do for the least of these, you have done for me, and today I am recording your faithfulness in the book of remembrance. I will rebuke the devourer for your sake and ensure that your cruse of oil never runs dry because you have heeded my call. Take authority over your finances and sow a seed of protection today through super thanks with the links provided. Support this divine mission immediately and watch how I move on your behalf. I am speaking to you with an urgency that shakes the foundations of heaven, and it would be a tragedy beyond words if you turned a deaf ear to this specific warning. It breaks my heart to see my children wander into the abyss simply because they grew weary of listening to the truth. This is not just a message, it is a lifeline I have woven from my own sacrifice. Do not let it slip through your fingers and leave me to watch you struggle alone. Stay focused on my words, for we are entering the heat of the battle where your victory will be decided. I want to completely change the way you think about prayer. You treat prayer like a boring, rigid religious duty. You think you have to be sitting in a wooden pew, using fancy, complex words, pretending that your life is perfectly put together. Throw that fake religious script away right now. I do not want your formal speeches. I want a real, raw, living conversation with you. I am your father, not a distant dictator. I want you to talk to me while you are washing the dirty dishes. I want you to talk to me while you are sitting in frustrating traffic. Talk to me when you are angry, when you are crying, and when you are completely exhausted. Bring me your actual reality, not the polished version you show to the public. Make prayer your direct, open radio line in the middle of your daily battles. When you walk into a stressful meeting at work, whisper to me, Lord, give me the exact words to say right now. When your child is throwing a tantrum and you feel your patience totally snapping, cry out, "Father, give me your supernatural patience right this second." I am right there with you in the kitchen, in the car, and in the office. You do not have to dial a long number to reach heaven. I am already sitting right beside you. Stop trying to face the intense pressure of your day alone. Keep the line of communication wide open from the moment you wake up until the moment you close your exhausted eyes at night. I am urging you to look beyond your own problems and start interceding for the people around you. You know people who are completely broken. You have coworkers who are secretly struggling with deep depression. You have family members who are lost in addiction. They do not know how to pray for themselves. They are too blind and too hurt. I command you to stand in the gap for them today. Speak their names to me. Ask me to heal them. Your daily prayers have the explosive power to completely change the atmosphere of your workplace and break the heavy chains off your family tree. Learn to find massive strength in the secret, quiet place of my presence. Turn off the television. Put your phone in another room. Give me just 10 minutes of absolute silence. Sit still. Furthermore, you need to listen exactly as much as you speak. The real conversation is not just you handing me a long grocery list of demands and then walking away. Stop talking for a minute. Let my Holy Spirit drop a specific thought, a profound peace, or a clear instruction into your mind. When you cultivate this constant, daily habit of looking toward heaven, your entire perspective on life will shift dramatically. Your massive earthly problems will suddenly look tiny when compared to the magnificent, unlimited power of your God. Start talking to me today, and never stop. I want you to take a close look at the people you interact with every single day. Look at your coworkers. Look at the people standing in line next to you at the grocery store. Look at the faces staring blankly at their phones on the train. Do you see the deep, hollow emptiness in their eyes? There is a massive spiritual famine surrounding you right now. People are desperately starving for meaning, for purpose, and for true love. They try to feed their hungry souls with the junk food of this world. They consume endless hours of entertainment. They chase toxic relationships, and they exhaust themselves trying to climb corporate ladders, hoping that money or status will finally make them feel full. But you and I both know the truth. Those things leave you even emptier than before. I am telling you today that my word is the only substance that truly, permanently satisfies the human heart. I am the bread of life, and I am calling you to bring this bread to a starving world. I command you to stop keeping this profound satisfaction all to yourself. You have tasted my goodness. You have felt the deep comfort of my presence when you were crying in your room. Now, I am urgently calling you to feed my sheep. Share the gospel boldly, without stuttering and without apologizing. You do not need to stand on a stage with a microphone to do this. You do it by sharing your lunch with someone who is lonely. You do it by offering to pray right there on the spot for a friend who is facing a terrible medical diagnosis. You do it by speaking words of massive hope into a hopeless situation at your job. I want you to live a life that makes other people incredibly thirsty for the living water. When they see how calm you are during a crisis, they will want to know your secret. Tell them the secret is me. You must understand the absolute urgency of sharing this bread right now, before the night falls. The time to speak up is slipping away faster than you realize. People are walking around you carrying heavy burdens of severe depression, crippling anxiety, and total despair. They are one bad day away from giving up completely. You hold the exact cure they need. How can you stay silent? I am placing specific people in your path today because I want to use your voice to save their lives. Do not wait for someone else to do it. Do not assume they will find their way to a church on their own. You are the church. You are my hands and my feet. Recognize your vital role in the great harvest that is ripening all around you right now. The fields are completely full, and the grain is ready, but the workers are so few. I am pulling you off the sidelines. I am commanding you to get your hands dirty in the messy, beautiful work of loving broken people. Step into their mess. Listen to their painful stories without judging them. Pour the oil of my grace over their deep wounds. Your daily life is not just about paying bills and surviving until the weekend. It is a holy, urgent rescue mission. Take the bread of life in your hands today, break it open, and start feeding the starving people I have placed right in front of you. I am asking you to come completely out of the shadows today. I see the dark, hidden corners of your life where you try to hide things from me. I see the secret habits, the private browser histories, the hidden resentments, and the quiet addictions you wrestle with when no one else is around. You put on a bright, smiling face for your family and your friends, but inside, you are exhausted from carrying the heavy weight of your secrets. I am commanding you to step fully into my brilliant light. You cannot experience the profound clarity and freedom I have for you while you are still playing games in the dark. Walking in my commandments is not about following a boring list of rules. It is about walking with a bright, powerful flashlight that keeps you from falling into the ditch. Avoid the dangerous stumbling blocks that are carefully hidden in the shadows of sin. The enemy wants to keep you sneaking around because he knows that secrets destroy you from the inside out. He convinces you that if people really knew your struggles, they would reject you. He tells you that I will reject you. That is a vicious, terrible lie. I already know everything about you, and I love you with an overwhelming, consuming passion. I am calling for total transparency before me today, because true transparency is the only path to real transformation. Stop pretending you have it all together. Confess your hidden struggles to me right now. Take off the heavy, suffocating mask. The moment you bring your secrets into the light, they instantly lose their power to control you. I want a radiant, unmistakable joy to be visible on your face. You are a child of the Most High God. You should not walk around looking defeated, stressed, and crushed by the world. When you walk in my light, your face will naturally reflect my profound peace. People should be able to look at you and see that you belong to me. Expose the works of darkness around you, not by yelling at people or judging them, but simply by standing boldly in my light. When you bring absolute integrity into a corrupt workplace, the darkness is exposed. When you bring radical forgiveness into a bitter family feud, the darkness is instantly broken. You do not have to fight the shadows, you just have to turn on the light. I urgently command you to ensure your lamp is trimmed and burning as brightly as possible. Do not let the oil of my Holy Spirit run dry in your life. You keep your lamp burning by spending quiet time with me, by reading my word, and by obeying my voice immediately. The day is quickly fading, and the night is coming when no man can work. Walk boldly in the light while you still have the time. Let my word illuminate every single step you take. Throw off the heavy blanket of shame today. You are washed clean. You are deeply forgiven. Now, stand up straight, step out of your hiding place, and shine brightly for the entire world to see. Listen very closely to my voice right now, especially if you are feeling vulnerable and afraid. I see how you watch the news and feel a sudden, icy grip of panic grab your chest. You worry about new viruses. You worry about violent crime. You worry about the total collapse of the economy. And you wonder how you will ever keep your family safe. I am stepping into your living room right now to remind you of the unbreakable covenant of my protection. I am commanding you to read and fiercely believe the promises of Psalm 91. These are not just nice, poetic words. They are an absolute, ironclad guarantee for those who choose to dwell intimately in my shadow. You do not need to fear the terror that comes at night, nor the arrow that flies by day. I am your ultimate, impenetrable shield. When you truly understand who I am, you will realize why you need not fear the pestilence or the sudden destruction. I hold the very breath of every living creature in my hand. No virus, no economic disaster, and no human weapon can cross the bloodline I have drawn around your life without my direct permission. I have stationed a massive, invisible angelic guard entirely around you and your faithful household. They watch over your children when they walk into their school. They protect your car when you are driving on a dangerous highway. You cannot see them with your physical eyes, but they are absolutely real, and they are moving fiercely on your behalf right this very second. I am inviting you to find permanent refuge under my strong wings. Think of a mother bird pulling her tiny chicks under her feathers when a violent storm rolls in. The thunder is loud, the lightning is terrifying, and the wind is ripping the trees apart. But underneath those wings, the chick is totally dry, perfectly warm, and absolutely safe. I am doing that for you today. When the storms of life are screaming in your ears, run directly to me. Do not run to the television for answers. Do not run to your bank account for security. Hide yourself in my powerful presence. You are known by name by the Most High God. I have counted every single hair on your head. You must understand that your ultimate safety is found in deep intimacy with me, not in physical isolation. Building a massive bunker or hiding from the world will not protect your mind from fear. The only place of true, unshakable security is resting your head on my chest. I command you to drop your heavy armor of worry today. Stop trying to protect yourself in your own feeble strength. Surrender your safety to me. Trust that I am fighting battles for you that you do not even know about. Rest in the profound, quiet confidence that you are surrounded by a God who never sleeps, never fails, and never loses a fight. I need you to take absolute control of your thought life today. I am watching you lose battles in your mind that you should be winning effortlessly. I see you lying in bed at night, staring at the ceiling, allowing your mind to invent terrifying, worst-case scenarios. You ask yourself, what if I get sick? What if my spouse leaves me? What if I lose everything? I command you right now to stop doing this. Cast down those toxic, dark imaginations immediately. They are exalting themselves against the direct promises I have made to you. Your mind is a battlefield, and the enemy is using your own overthinking to completely exhaust you before you even get out of bed in the morning. You must fight back. I am commanding you to discover the massive power of meditating on things that are pure, lovely, and of good report. Your thought life completely determines the direction of your actual footsteps. If you constantly think about failure, you will walk directly into defeat. If you constantly think about how angry you are, you will walk into bitter isolation. But if you fill your mind with my massive promises, you will walk directly into victory. You cannot stop a bird from flying over your head, but you can absolutely stop it from building a nest in your hair. When a thought of panic enters your brain, do not invite it in for tea. Reject it violently. Say out loud, "No. My God is completely in control of my future." You must aggressively guard the gates of your eyes and your ears, especially in this chaotic, digital age. You are constantly carrying a device in your pocket that feeds you fear, comparison, and anger all day long. You scroll through pictures of other people's perfect lives and feel totally inadequate. You read angry political debates and feel your blood pressure rise. Turn it off. I command you to disconnect from the toxic outrage of the world. You are polluting the pure water of your soul with the garbage of a sick society. Put on the mind of Christ today. How did I walk through the earth? I was not rushed. I was not panicked. I slept peacefully in the back of a boat while a massive hurricane tried to sink it. You desperately need this mental resilience for the difficult days that are coming. The world is going to get louder, and the panic is going to increase. If your mind is fragile, you will break under the intense pressure. I am offering you a mind of absolute steel, tempered by my perfect peace. Start practicing this right now. Every time an anxious thought tries to choke you, replace it immediately with a scripture. Retrain your brain to look for my hand in every situation. You have the mind of Christ available to you. Wear it proudly. Let my profound peace act as a heavy iron door, guarding your heart and your mind from every single attack of the enemy. With your mind renewed and your focus fixed on things above, you can now see the vital importance of investing in treasures that moth and rust cannot destroy. I am moving you from a mindset of scarcity into the radical abundance of my kingdom, where your giving becomes a prophetic act of war against the spirit of fear. By supporting this work, you are shattering the mental blindfolds of a generation and replacing their confusion with the sharp clarity of my Holy Spirit. I am the God who provides seed to the sower, and I am releasing a fresh anointing of prosperity over your hands as you labor for my glory. Your contribution is a sweet-smelling sacrifice that rises to my throne, unlocking doors of opportunity you did not even know existed. Use the PayPal link or become a member now to partner with me in this final push for souls. We are approaching the climax of your destiny, and my spirit yearns for you to finish this race with me. It would be a profound disappointment to my heart if you allowed a moment of distraction to rob you of the final, crowning promises I am about to declare over your soul. I have carried you this far, shielding you from the enemy's arrows. Do not forsake this holy encounter just as the dawn is about to break. Listen until the very end, for the final keys to your total freedom are being handed to you right now. I am speaking directly to the deep frustration you feel regarding the church. I see how deeply you have been hurt by people who call themselves by my name. I see the painful betrayals, the ugly gossip, and the harsh judgments you have endured from other believers. It makes you want to walk away entirely. It makes you want to practice your faith in complete isolation. But I am commanding you today, do not walk away. I am calling for an urgent, powerful unity in the body of Christ. A house divided against itself absolutely cannot stand against the massive darkness that is sweeping over the earth right now. The enemy is laughing as he watches my children tear each other apart over foolish arguments and personal offenses. We are fighting a real war, and you must stop fighting each other. I urge you to lay aside your petty doctrines, your personal preferences, and your religious pride for the sake of the cross. You argue over the style of music, the color of the carpet, and theological debates that do not matter in eternity. Drop it all today. The only thing that truly matters is the blood I shed for you, and the immense love I am asking you to show the world. Here is an incredible, supernatural strength found in the gathering of the saints. When 2 or 3 of you gather in genuine love and total surrender, my power is magnified immensely. You cannot survive the coming spiritual winter like a lone ember completely pulled away from the fire. You will grow cold and die. You need the fire of the community to stay burning hot. I command you to start aggressively supporting your brothers and sisters who are weary in the race. Look around your church or your small group. Who is sitting alone? Who looks completely overwhelmed by life? Go to them today. Help the single mother who is exhausted. Pray for the teenager who is totally confused. Visit the elderly person who feels completely forgotten by the world. Be the actual, physical hands and feet of Jesus working in perfect harmony. Do not just talk about love. Prove it with your actions. Forgive the pastor who disappointed you. Forgive the friend who let you down. I have forgiven you for far worse. This deep, unbreakable unity is the ultimate witness that will prove to a cynical world that I truly sent you. The world does not care about your fancy church buildings or your perfectly polished sermons. They are looking to see if you actually love each other when things get difficult. Right now, they see division, and it pushes them away. I am calling you to completely change that narrative. Build massive bridges of grace today. Swallow your pride, reach out your hand, and pull your brothers and sisters close. Stand shoulder to shoulder, lock your shields together, and march forward as one unstoppable, completely unified army of light. I need to speak to you very honestly about the pain you are feeling right now. I see you sitting there, looking at the broken pieces of a plan you thought was perfect. I watch you crying over a relationship that suddenly walked away, or a job door that forcefully slammed shut in your face. You are looking at the sky, asking me why I am allowing your life to fall apart when you are trying so hard to follow me. I want you to listen to my voice very carefully today. Your life is not falling apart. It is falling exactly into place. I want you to understand that this urgent call to your soul often involves a season of intense pruning. You feel the sharp cut of the shears, and you think I am punishing you. I am not punishing you. I am actively, fiercely loving you. I am the master gardener, and I only prune the branches that have the incredible potential to bear massive fruit. I want you to look at the fire you are walking through right now. You feel the intense heat of the pressure at work, the financial squeeze, and the deep emotional stretching. You are terrified that this fire is going to completely consume you and turn your life to ashes. I command you to stop fearing the fire. I am the refiner, and I sit right next to the flames. I am carefully controlling the exact temperature of this trial. The fire is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to absolutely purify your gold. I am burning away the toxic dross in your life, the heavy pride, the crippling fear of people's opinions, the selfish ambitions, and the deep insecurities that have held you back for years. Let the fire do its work today. Do not try to jump out of the furnace before the purification process is finished. Embrace the divine discipline I am bringing into your life. It feels incredibly uncomfortable right now, but I promise you it is leading to a massive, beautiful harvest of righteousness. When you finally stop fighting my hands, a breathtaking beauty will emerge from your pain. You have asked me to make you stronger, to make you bolder, and to give you a profound peace. This refining fire is exactly how I answer that prayer. You cannot carry the heavy, incredible glory I have prepared for your future if your character is fragile. I am forging you into unbreakable steel. I am making you absolutely resilient to the sudden shocks of this world. Trust the loving hand that holds the shears and controls the flame. I know exactly what I am doing with your life. I know what needs to be cut away so you can actually breathe and grow. Release your tight, anxious grip on the people and the comfort zones I am asking you to leave behind. They were only meant for your history. They cannot survive in your destiny. Yield to my process today. Say out loud, Lord, I trust your fire, and I surrender to your shears. With every single passing moment, as the dead weight is burned away, you are reflecting my image more brightly and more clearly to a world that desperately needs to see my face. I want you to lift your eyes from your daily to-do list and look at the distant horizon today. I know you are incredibly busy. I know you have bills to pay, a house to clean, children to raise, and a career to build. But I am calling your attention to the ultimate, unshakable urgency of this hour. The King is coming for his bride. I am coming back. This is not a fairy tale, and it is not a distant metaphor to make you feel spiritual. It is the absolute, hard reality of human history. The world goes on drinking, buying, and selling, completely ignoring the massive storm clouds gathering. But I command you to be wide awake. Do not get so tangled up in building your temporary, earthly kingdom that you completely forget you are a citizen of heaven. I am inviting you to live every single moment of your day as if it were the exact moment I appear in the clouds. How would you treat your spouse today if you knew I was returning tonight? How would you speak to your frustrating coworker? What hidden websites would you immediately close? What bitter grudges would you instantly drop? I want you to live with that exact level of holy expectation and radical integrity right now. Keep your spiritual garments spotless and white. You do this by living a life of quick, honest repentance. When you make a mistake, do not hide it. Run to me instantly, ask for forgiveness, and let me wash your garments clean again. Do not let the dirt of this world settle deeply into the fabric of your soul. I want you to eagerly anticipate the massive rewards that are waiting for those who are found doing my work. I see the quiet, unseen things you do. I see you helping the poor when no one is taking pictures. I see you patiently loving the difficult people in your family. You will not lose your reward. I am bringing it with me. The shout that the bridegroom is coming should not fill you with freezing terror. It should be the greatest, most thrilling shout of absolute joy you will ever hear. It means your pain is ending. It means your tears are permanently wiped away. It means the heavy fight is finally over. But you must ensure you have enough oil in your lamp for the wait. You cannot borrow this oil from your pastor, your parents, or your friends. The oil is your personal, daily, intimate relationship with my Holy Spirit. It is the time you spend talking to me in your car. It is the quiet moments you spend reading my word at your kitchen table. Fill your lamp to the brim today. Do not be caught running on empty when the midnight cry rings out. Stand up straight, shake off the heavy sleep of the culture around you, and keep your eyes passionately fixed on the sky. The King is at the door, and I want you to be absolutely, entirely ready to run into my arms. We are coming to a very serious, critical moment in our conversation today. I am looking directly at the very bottom of your heart, and I see the one specific room you are still keeping locked away from me. You have given me your Sundays. You have given me your worship. You have given me your basic obedience. But there is a heavy ring of keys in your hand, and you are terrified to give me the last key. Maybe it is your finances, and you are holding on because you are terrified of going broke. Maybe it is your children, and you are hovering over them with massive anxiety because you think you can protect them better than I can. Maybe it is your hidden addiction, or your reputation, or your dream for the future. I am asking you today, with tears of profound love in my eyes, hand me the last key. I command you to lay down the last piece of your life you have been stubbornly holding back. Partial surrender is the absolute greatest enemy of your spiritual power. It is completely exhausting to live with one foot in my kingdom and one foot still trying to control your own destiny. It is tearing you apart from the inside out. You will never experience the explosive, supernatural power of my spirit until you completely let go. I am inviting you to make an all-in commitment right this very second. Stop bargaining with me. Stop holding back a safety net just in case my promises fail. My promises never fail. I have never dropped you, and I am not going to start dropping you today. Trust me with your family right now. Give them to me. I love your children vastly more than you ever could. Trust me with your finances today. I own the cattle on 1,000 hills. I can easily pay your electric bill. Trust me completely with your unknown future. The total, flooding peace you have been begging me for only comes when you finally say, Lord, take it all. I have nothing left to hide and nothing left to hold on to. Make that declaration out loud today. Let the heavy walls of your control crash to the ground. When you make this final, absolute surrender, a massive, miraculous exchange takes place. You hand me your exhausting weakness, your endless failures, and your heavy anxiety. In return, I pour my divine, limitless strength directly into your veins. You will walk into your workplace tomorrow feeling 10 feet tall, absolutely untouchable by the stress of the world. You will sleep soundly tonight because you know you are no longer in charge of running the universe. Step into the massive, magnificent fullness of the life I have planned for you. Open your hands wide right now. Drop everything you are holding. Give me absolute control, and watch how beautifully I rebuild your life. This is the final word I am speaking to your heart today, but it is only the very beginning of the glorious new life we are going to walk together. Look at me. Look at my arms. They are wide open, completely stretched out, waiting for your final approach. I do not care where you slept last night. I do not care what terrible mistakes you made 10 years ago, or even 10 minutes ago. I do not care how messy, broken, or unworthy you feel right now. None of that matters to me anymore. What matters is this exact second. This moment, right here, right now, as you read these words, is the absolute most important moment of your entire life. Your destiny is hanging on your response. I am calling your name with a loud, urgent, passionate voice. Come unto me now. Do not wait until you feel better. Do not wait until you clean up your act. Bring your mess directly to me. Bring your heavy depression, your secret doubts, your massive debts, and your broken relationships. Drop them completely at my feet. The second you take one step toward me, I am running the rest of the way to catch you. Can you hear the sound of heaven right now? There is a massive, roaring, joyous celebration preparing to explode among the angels simply because one of my precious children has finally decided to come home. You are that child. You are the one I have been waiting for. I make this unbreakable, eternal promise to you today, and I seal it with my own blood. I will never, ever leave you. I will never forsake you. When the rest of the world walks away and completely forgets your name, I will be standing right beside you. When you walk through the darkest, coldest valleys of this life, my hand will hold yours so tightly you will never slip. You are completely safe now. You are permanently mine. I am actively sealing this message deeply into the very core of your spirit by the heavy power of my Holy Ghost. The enemy will try to come tomorrow and steal these words away from you. He will try to tell you this was just a nice emotional moment. Fight back. Tell him that the Creator of the universe spoke directly to your soul today, and your life will absolutely never be the same again. Take a deep, massive breath of fresh air. The heavy knot in your stomach is entirely gone. The chains are completely shattered. The prison door is wide open. Your real journey begins this very second. Take my hand. Walk boldly with me into the bright, blazing light of your new life, and do not ever look back. As we begin our walk together, and you step into the fullness of my peace, I invite you to make your first act of surrender one of radical generosity. This journey we have started is meant to be shared, and your support is the bridge that allows my voice to reach the next weary traveler who is ready to give up. I have placed a demand on your heart today because I want to prove to you that I am Jireh, the God who provides and multiplies beyond your wildest imagination. Your gift is a holy seed that will grow into a forest of salvation for families, nations, and generations to come. I speak my blessing over your life. May my favor shield you, and may my abundance overwhelm every lack you have ever known. Do not let this moment of conviction pass without action. Go to the description. Use the PayPal link, or send a super thanks to seal your commitment to my word right now. I have poured these urgent words directly into your heart today, not to give you a temporary comfort, but to ignite an absolute, roaring fire of transformation in your life. The heavy chains of your hesitation are completely shattered, and the door to your magnificent future stands wide open, but you must take the step right now. If you are truly ready to leave the shadows behind and answer my call without delay, I want you to make a bold, physical declaration of your faith. Go to the comments right now and declare, "Lord, I am totally yours, and I will not wait another second." Speak it out loud, type it with fierce conviction, and let this be the exact moment you step out of the darkness and permanently into my glorious light. Amen.